So hi guys, we have Mr. Avinash, Regional Manager West from Element 14, and they are the channel partners of all the components that you need in the electric mobility and battery industry. Mr. Avinash will brief us and explain it more better. Sir, what all products you have in the electric mobility and battery space, what solutions you provide, and how is the company structured?
Okay. See, basically, first of all, let me introduce. I'm the regional head for the Western region,
Right.
taking care of Mumbai, Ahmedabad, and Goa and
Right.
Pune. So, in totality, the West region is covered, and what we understand from the Indian operations is Element 14 caters to various segments. EV is definitely a in solution, which is a necessity, and on top of it, what we cater to is. If you go with the name of Element 14, that is very, very important.
Right.
Element 14, 14th element in its periodic table is silicon.
Okay.
So we cater to silicon means electronics.
Okay.
So that's
Great.
how Element 14 is the name.
Beautiful.
Okay. And basically Element 14 has been catering into the oldest company in the globe, which is name is Farnell.
Okay.
It has been taken over by a company called Avnet now.
Okay.
And Avnet is the design solutions for major companies, including EV.
Right.
And basically, what we cater to is Element 14 caters to small components, small and non-MOQ components, where you need a samples, pre-production,
Right.
and then you finally go into the volume production.
Right.
Okay. Now, why Element 14 has been useful and possibly for the EV solutions is right from 30 watts up to 20 kilowatts, 2 kilowatts. What is the we give the solution for the two-wheelers.
Right.
For three-wheelers or four-wheelers, what we also give the similar solutions.
Right.
And regarding those type of components is
Right.
what Element 14 and Avnet cater to.
Right, right.
When you need something to design level,
Right.
Avnet is the right solution.
Right.
If you go to the small volume, Element 14 is the solution.
Great.
And for volume, again, you go to Avnet.
Great.
That's how Element 14
So
Avnet.
majorly what I understand is, sir, any kind of components, the companies can find under Element 14.
Yes.
And the smart company structure that I understood is for smaller volumes, you've got Element 14. For bulk orders, you've got a separate organization
Yes.
which takes care of
Avnet, yes.
Yeah, Avnet. So, is there a reason to have this kind of a company structure? Is it beneficial to the industry in any form?
Yes.
And secondly, since you're partnered with more than 150, 160 plus component manufacturers from all around the world, do you think that Indian market at the moment is looking for a one-stop solution, or do you find challenges in getting one specific, let's say, OEM on board who can get all the components from one single company like Element 14? What kind of queries do they have whilst finalizing the components, and how do you see the market reacting to it?
Fantastic. Good questions. See, basically, now if you go with one, two, three questions. Now, if you cater to why Element 14 is needed, why Avnet is needed separate,
Right.
we came up with this solution for the industry, and what industry was looking forward for. We don't want directly a volumetric solution.
Correct.
We want a small bits and pieces. Now what happens is, let's say you are the user. Tomorrow you want to design something and you want to go in a production quantity.
Correct.
But you don't go next day. You go in
Correct.
small bits and pieces.
Right.
And that's where in INR, Indian rupees,
Right.
we give the solutions for the sample or production quantity.
Right.
Because we have off-the-shelf components available in our warehouses.
Okay.
Let me tell you, we don't cater to just 150, we cater to 5,600
Okay.
principals across the globe.
Okay.
And those are catering to various solutions.
Okay.
Your automation, industrial, medical, EV or automotive, all type of solutions is what we cater to.
Right. Right.
Now coming back to the solution what Element 14 and Avnet works towards,
Right.
what Element 14 does is, when this support from, let me tell you first of all, we have a very, very good product called Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
Now why I'm catering to this Raspberry Pi is, why Avnet took us, Element 14 as a part of us, because Raspberry Pi is something which is a core design solution for many of those IITians.
Okay.
And that is where we started catering to.
Okay.
And from there, it developed a lot of solutions.
Right.
So once they realized that Element 14 is a good partner for them, that's how Avnet took us.
Okay.
That's
Right.
first.
Right.
So this partnership is, this venture started 2 years back,
Right.
2023. And now we are a full-fledged partners together. and that's why you can see there are a whole lot of displays going on for
solutions and
all
products
solutions.
displayed, yeah.
And we are catering to bill of materials.
Correct.
Now here comes the bigger point.
Right.
Avnet caters to 400 to 500 lines.
Right.
Element 14 caters to 5,000 plus lines.
Right.
Now, if you recollect, what are we giving? What is Avnet giving? There is no comparison,
Right.
but let me give a small comparison in here. Is Avnet will not go to volume directly.
Right.
They will ask for non-volumes, which Element 14 caters to.
Correct.
When it goes to volumes, I'm just giving an example. Like you have a company called Bajaj.
Right.
Bajaj is catering, we are the largest supplier through Avnet for all these automotive solutions. Now for Bajaj, two-wheeler and three-wheeler, all electric vehicles we have been supporting through Avnet, and we are the biggest channel partners for them.
Okay, great.
Now for that, to start with, Element 14 was the right partner.
Right.
Because we started from providing samples to them.
Right,
Of course,
right.
paid samples,
Right.
then prepaid, then post-production, and then the full-fledged production started.
Right.
So the curve starts from smaller to bigger to the OEM based.
Right.
Sometimes Bajaj may say, okay, I don't want Avnet also, I want OEM.
Right.
They can go to OEM, but how did they go? Right from Element 14.
Correct.
They went to Avnet and then they went to OEM.
Because I think the overall resources and expertise needed in smaller volumes versus big volume is very different.
Absolutely.
And that expertise is what you want to make sure is clearly defined.
Perfect.
And that's where the customers are more comfortable whichever phase they are at.
Yes.
They can accordingly get the how do you say apt expertise on board as
Perfect.
partners.
Perfect.
And accordingly proceed.
Yes,
Makes
yes,
sense.
yes.
Makes sense. And sir, since the whole component solution is what you provide, and how would you let's say differentiate with the Chinese component manufacturers in India? Because I'm pretty sure there's a huge price difference, huge or less. You will let us know. Do you face a problem while discussing with your clients or OEMs? One thing is for sure that Element 14, since it has an option to give smaller volume products, but when it comes to the volume products, there's a competition that comes from China, right?
Yes.
For your other organization.
Perfect.
Element. So how do you compete with them in pricing, or is it at par with those people? How,
Okay, great question, sir. Now, in this context, we already addressed this competition. When it comes to sampling mode,
Right.
we cater to check that those samples or those parts are non-Chinese, first of all.
Right.
Now, if you go through the Make in India,
Right.
now what is coming up from the government of India also, every product is non-Chinese possibly. I'm
Right.
not saying everything is Chinese,
Right.
but possibly non-Chinese, and that's how we cater to the starting phase.
Right.
Now we are coming back to the competition, the volume.
Volume, right.
Okay. Now what happens is, yes, there is a competition, huge competition from China. Especially, I just gave the name of Bajaj. Bajaj themselves says, oh, China is a big competition to us in two-wheelers and three-wheelers also. And here we are facing, we have to take the parts from European suppliers or US suppliers,
Right.
which we cater to, Avnet. Let me tell you, first of all, Avnet is the largest automotive supplier in the globe.
Okay.
Okay. So even China they are supporting too.
Okay.
That is also a part of it. Now what happens is, in this connection, what we do is, no doubt there is a competition, there is a phase, but we design in such a way that it caters to the Indian market in such a way it's goes to rugged condition, the
Right.
temperatures,
Right.
all these parameters are met,
Right.
and that's why it is more absorbed by the industry.
Correct.
And automotive industry is taking very, very good approach, and you can see over maybe another next 2 to 3 years, most of the EV vehicles will be only indigenized
Correct.
through Avnet
Correct.
or through such Indian-based organization, or who are you can say more of American Indians or
Correct.
European Indians.
Correct.
So those sort of companies, because we have a very good amount of design engineers
Correct.
in itself, in Pune, in Bangalore, in Delhi. You see all there.
So that complete design consulting with the components, the whole solution they get under
Exactly.
one. And companies, the OEMs are ready to pay that extra bit for
Exactly. Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Great. So thanks a lot for your time. It was great interacting with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.